Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise today first to applaud the House for working on legislation that is designed specifically to help small businesses. It is the most important thing that Congress can do for the economy, and I thank the chairwoman and the ranking member for their hard work on this issue. I also rise today to bring one provision in the bill that will surely influence the effectiveness of the SBIR and STTR programs, either for good or ill. Section 102 mandates that no single venture capital firm may own more than 49% of a small business for that small business to be eligible to participate in these programs. Multiple venture capital companies, however, in the aggregate, may own a majority of the shares, but no single firm may have a controlling interest. In essence, Section 102 attempts to strike a balance between the two concerns. On one hand, Congress does not want large venture capital firms scavenging and acquiring a large number of small businesses simply to take advantage of federal tax dollars. On the other hand, Congress has an interest in making sure that any otherwise eligible small business is not unnecessarily excluded from participating simply because it has received all or a majority of its funding from a single angel of sorts investor. Preventing large firms from gaming the system is the correct goal in my view, and I appreciate the committee's work to address this problem. Yet, Congress must do everything possible to ensure that we're not letting our pursuit of the perfect affect our ability to achieve the goals of this legislation. Simply put, my amendment directs GAO to conduct a study on the effect that this ownership restriction has on participation. This will help Congress to determine if the right balance has been struck. The bottom line, Mr. Chairman, is that in far too many cases, thoughtful and well-intended programs to assist small businesses have been unnecessarily hampered by arbitrary rules and restrictions that made sense at first glance. The SBA's ARC loan program, for instance, which provides 100% guarantees for small business loans, had been hampered because despite the guarantee, most banks are actually refusing to participate. Banks are being forced to hoard capital to satisfy stress test requirements. While those requirements make sense for regulators, they inhibit the government's ability to administer its small business programs. As my colleagues know, small businesses accounted for over 70% of new job growth over the last 10 years. It's critical that Congress get these small business programs right and that they are implemented quickly. Over the long term, Congress must continue to do everything to support entrepreneurs through thoughtful policy and resist the temptation to replace them with bureaucrats. This, Mr. Chairman, is a program that supports entrepreneurs, and I think that we owe it to them to make sure that the program is as effective as possible, and if it's not, to fix it until we get it right. I believe this legislation has a chance to do what Congress should have done from the start in this economic crisis, and that is to help small businesses. However, if in a month from now Congress turns around and institutes employer mandates and taxes the health care benefits provided by small business owners, the House will again have taken a step back in supporting the recovery and growth of small businesses. I urge the House's adoption of this amendment, and I reserve the balance of my time.